plan, local control, the rollback is said. So,
Tampa links into permutation means we are not going for one takes out the link to the range. Instead, they can see the play would be, we would still link more because they have not read a link evidence I inserted in the 2 and C. You would have the Supreme Court do this, which would piss off the base, which would placate them by passing the range check. If the counter is no longer in the debate, that means the plan links more. This is an extinction that benefit to the status quo too. They link more. They've not made an argument where the counter would not link. I assert it's clear they do not real link evidence. They should have to be bound to a rule in which the only arguments that conservatives get mad, they'd be mad about the plain Supreme Court decision which placates them. The permutation listen that if we are not going further, not allowed to advocate, they screwed this up. They should make this explicit, and the one year after doing is just a test, a competitive, it goes away. If not, it would be intrinsic to the status quo, which is a voting issue. Second of all, this is crazy if they can say that they now do the counterplans to permutation. The permutation was due both. We said that would still link because we conceded they lead to magnet schools, which is network. They cannot spike out of this. In the 1AR, this is severance in the most clear voting issue. We based our block strategy based off 2AC responses. The economy dissent also doesn't link to us. We're not going for it. They can see the plan links out because they would have to spend money on magnet schools, which collapse the economy. The only axis is in nuclear war, which the impact is extinction doesn't link to the CAP plan, but it links to the case. So worse, they do deficit spending, which Catherine makes clear would be more canceled. Our Kansas and Evans's magnet schools are more expensive. The status quo to guarantee extinction. In fact, local control.
4 points.
White control does not take out a distance. The plan would still lead to school within their schools. Extend our bell evidence to tracking within schools makes them more likely to lead to foster racism and exclusion. This impacts their biopolitics racism impact, which makes all war and genocide possible. This is an impact to their magnet schools arguments, which the plan would necessarily result in extended participatory democracy. Baron-Nagin evidence provides uniqueness to the status quo. Uniqueness to the status quo. The schools are increasing participatory democracy and control. The way the school financing and funding test allows them to shape their curriculum and promote black awareness, which challenges societal racism. Plan would trade off of that by moving students out of schools, even if they result in magnet schools. It still forces the black students to go to magnet schools. There's no white student that would go to a magnet schools in the inner city. They still bear the majority of the complaining forces in assimilation mode. They can see the safety about all the trade evidence is the reason why the CAP plan makes it less likely that we'll confront racism and have more revolutionary practice that can alter this. They can see this turns out war and racism advantage because it leads to more imperialist foreign policy, which is the impact of their evidence extend. Desegregation will lead to declare students an inefficient Brown-Nagin evidence that undermines academic achievements of students, which turns our PAL evidence, which the only impact is material inequality, which the plan makes it more likely that would happen. Status quo, local control actually allows them to tailor to students' needs, which increases their economic achievements, and the incentive trades off of white votes. Lance evidence means a plan is a safety valve for more effective change, even if they lead to white flight. That's the reason why they prevent broader movements that are happening in the status quo. Extend the Brown-Nagin evidence's movements are happening in the status quo, provides uniqueness. Plan trades off with more effective social change arguments, flips all their housing, and the idea that more important things besides just war education is necessary. Extend the reason why the court receives slow. Don't extend the private school flight argument does not take out the advance because some people would clearly go to private school flights. You still force assimilation of black students into white schools, which leads to all of our case terms and undermine participatory democracy. Even if white students move out and some go to private schools, it still means black students are forced into assimilation law and undermines our urban schools. It takes out their advantage but gives us uniqueness for our terms. Critique top, they concede it still links to permutations no longer in debate, and even if they do, they result in magnet schools, which they are conceding a whole slew of 1NR evidence or of multiple pieces of Orville and evidence explains integration in magnet schools as networks that restrict them and at least only benefits a small group of students that are usually white and increases inequality. It means even if the plan wouldn't necessarily result in their 2AC clarification makes this worse. They say the plan doesn't lead to busing conceded, you lead to magnet schools, which your impact on is increasing the massive amount of burden that plays in white motorists. They can see the mere discourse of the one they see is the reason they should lose our Dixon Justice Walkers and Powell and Bell evidence integration. It makes it less likely for students to actually embrace their culture. They can see the impact flips the case and it makes material inequality happening. This destruction of control is a form of real genocide that the one they see impact. Also concludes on the biopolitics argument. They say they can't do the account plan for the remedy. They say they lead to magnet schools. They should not be able to spike out of this in the 1AR. They say increases associations with magnet schools. Air towards their Saudi Arabia is just better. Dixon and Cole's evidence says even if it's true, all studies are based on an idealized condition that doesn't have to actually increase the violence in schools. Wells and Crane actually err and negative on this question says it's less likely this happened. Works are killing evidence. Integration does not make students that increases self-segregation tracking within schools, which means none of their idealized conditions actually matter. They concede that structural desegregation will continue, or Wells and Crane evidence is this rigid model of desegregation to enable war and genocide that one see impacts this reason, which is the reason why they lose the status quo as a more preferable policy option rollback. They said they concede we control the uniqueness in the status quo. They have not had card one on why people will return to the lock area in the status quo. Will return to the lock in the status quo. One see the retired evidence is it's highly unlikely they'll moderate in the status quo. Lock evidence is he will not roll back left this into a ruling to our Washington Times evidence will hold the site. Conservatives, the only argument they have is this blame for decision. They concede will be based on specific yesterday our Brandon statement. Evidence explains multiple changes to the doctrine that will prevent this from happening, or Yashoda evidence is their special justification. They concede even if there are overrules in the status quo, the special justification means it will be restrained part. Our Gerhardt and Smith evidence is only this prevents the conservative warfare from happening, which Glenn Thomas will back all important policies. They say that he's only a social conservative, yes, but it's not a question of whether or not he can moderate the court, which is what our evidence is. It's vital for him to do that. So Lockheed evidence as well as our right evidence is breaking strike decisive allow him to moderate. They say the Kennedy argument they concede he's against affirmative action. The status quo affirmative action of a conservative after liberal policy in the status quo. I'm not reading Carvin this, but this is fundamentally correct, and you should err towards what your knowledge base says. They concede he'll move to the center. Even if he moves a little bit to the center, that means he would still shift right on other areas. Scalia and Thomas, Robertson and Lee would control the majority of the center report. They concede that this rollback would lead to the entirety of the Warren court areas, which is the only thing preventing a special justification. And start decisive in the status quo. The 14th Amendment argument, they do not can advance this. I don't have to spend a lot of offense here, but they concede that in practice, the idea of universal citizenship is literally impossible. Maherney, Bostic, and Dollywall says it increases radical imperialism abroad, which flips their democracy argument, makes it impossible for the plan to solve universalism is never universal, but always exclusionary.
12.